I'm Molly Grisham, and I got next.
You next up and you ain't been on SportsLifeTalk. Like, what are you doing? Hey, you better hit him up. Look, you breaking next and you up next. Kings and queens go hard. Rise and star on the big scene. Make them know who you are. You don't break a sweat. Don't settle for less. They put you through that test. Your resume that flex. Who got next? Who got next? SLT, ready, set, go. Who got next? Who got next? Living my dreams and all your goals. Who got next? Who got next? You can ask B. Jones or head coach. Who got next? Who got next? You next up, so here's my vote. Chill.
SLT Nation! Welcome back to another fire episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next, a platform that gives exposure to the voices of tomorrow. That's right, we're talking to rising stars in our communities, pillars in our communities, so to speak, individuals who are doing big things and accomplishing big dreams. And today, we got a special one for you. This might be categorized as a You Got Next special because we're going to take y'all to a place. We want to inspire, we want to motivate, but we also want to develop. So today, we brought in a consultant, a facilitator, Coach Ready, somebody who is going to help take this generation of teams, of coaches, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to build. This young lady below us is going to help you to do it. Welcome to the stage, the Belmont alumni coming out of Chi-Town, Chicago.
Hey.
All the way to St. Louis. We got it, ladies and gentlemen. Coach Ready in the building. Meet Molly Grisham. How you doing today, Coach?
Hey, how can I not be good after that introduction? That was great. I'm feeling good. Thanks for having me.
And I got to tone it back a little bit because we're gonna help people today, and we're gonna move the culture. But you super excited. You got that energy that can light up a room. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you joining the show so much. For those of you who are new to the program and this is your first time making that click and making that switch, will allow me to reintroduce myself. I am your host, the mouth of the South B. Jones, the OG, all things Louisiana. Put your L's up. Mr. Yeet is in the building, and I'm rocking alongside my brother from another mother. Hey, the other side of the logo, the quiet storm. Shh. The head coach, KT. Kev, how you feeling today, man? You ready to get your crowd? You ready to shed some tears, man? You ready to be better?
Yeah, I got some Kleenex right here, B. But backstage, Molly and I, we were talking about some barbecue, B. Jones. So now I got hungry all over again. But I'm really hungry for this knowledge we're about to get, B. Jones. So let's turn up. Let's go.
All right, Molly. Well, before we soak up some of that game, you're about to get a Sports Life Talk Nation, and we all become better human beings. And if we don't, well, at least we're going to know where to go, right? mollygrisham.com to get we at least know where you're going to go to get that information. Before we do that, we got to get it ready for the show. You can't go on the journey without reaching over that shoulder, coach. Go and do it. Pull that strap across and let's buckle up. Let's go. All right, coach. Well, let's do this in a favor. We need everybody out there. If this is your first time watching the program, again, I want to say thank you. We need your help to keep growing this platform and keep this amazing momentum of 2023 going. Kevin and I, we don't stop working for you, and we're not going to stop working for you. Season 4 is on the cusp. I promise y'all big things are coming. We're going to have more specials. We're going to have more life coaches. We're going to bring y'all some goodness and wholesomeness every single day in and day out. But we need you to do a quick favor for us. We made a commitment to you, but we need you to help us with just 1 second. 3 things. We need you to smash that subscribe button right now. All right. The second thing we need you to do, we need you to hit the like button, because liking this puts this show in the algorithm and it'll just bubble up all the way to the top. Y'all know what that means, right? So when they search Molly Grisham, they're going to see this show and they're going to be able to hear her voice and listen to some of her content. And then the third thing we need you to do is share, because I guarantee you it's a coach out there right now that's about to pull their hair out because they don't have the proper strategy, the proper resources, and the proper tools. And we're going to give them that today. We're going to give them the ultimate resource that they can use in order to build teams and to really get level up on their coaching. All right. So with that being said, Coach, is the light bulbs family gonna rock with us?
Let's go.
go. Let's do it like you're true to it. 1, 2, 3. Boo! Welcome to the Sports Life Talk family. That's right. We don't do fans. We don't do followers. So make sure that you show us some love and you actually throw your emoji. Throw a fire emoji right now in the chat. You know what? Let's do the firecracker emoji. Let's do the boom emoji in the chat. And if you do that, that's going to let us know that you just did one of those 3 actions. And we're going to personally reach out to you and shake your hand and welcome you to the Sports Life Talk family. But without further ado, Coach Molly Grisham, and y'all forgive me for calling her coach. She's a life coach. She's a former coach. Hey, that's what we do. Coaches are people who make big difference. They superheroes, and Coach Grisham is a superhero to me. So, all right, Coach, here we go. Welcome to the Sports Life initiation.
All right, Coach. Since he called you Coach, we're gonna call you Coach this whole episode. We're gonna ride that wave, B. Jones.
Let's ride it. I'm ready.
All right. To initiate you into the SLT family, you got to give us your top 5 music artists.
Okay, so you're gonna see my tastes here pretty quickly. I'm going with Mumford & Sons, Coldplay, X Ambassadors, Pink, and Kelly Clarkson.
Whoa, okay. Now you know Coach Terry Morin, her favorite was Pink too. So did you know y'all had that in common?
I'm in good company. If that's what Coach picks, I'll take it as well.
You know Kelly Clarkson is from Burleson, B. Jones, so she's from the area.
Oh, good fact, Kevin.
And I love some Coldplay. Coldplay go hard. So, Coach, I like that. So, we like to rank everybody's top 5.
Hey, hold up, dog. Hey, y'all hit me up in the DM if y'all want the funniest Kevin and Coldplay story. I'm not gonna waste Molly time with that story, but y'all please hit me up and I can give y'all the funniest Kevin Coldplay story. All right, let's go, Kevin.
It was a Maroon 5, but good try. All right, Coach. We like to rank everybody's top 5, and the highest you can get is 5. But B. Jones, that was a unique top 5. I've heard of everybody. Not saying I listen to everybody like Kelly Clarkson and Coldplay, of course. But you know what we're gonna do, B. Jones?
What's that, man?
Because she's gonna change our life this episode, B. Jones. Give her 15. Give her 15.
Come on.
Because maybe she can fix our relationship, B. Jones, because we got some muddy waters, B. Jones. So, yeah, we need some help.
We got work to do.
Oh, you got a lot of work, Coach. I don't know how much time today you got. All right, so who is your favorite superhero and why?
Okay, if I was gonna go with a superhero, I would want to think like, what superhero would I want to be? And that to me is an easy answer. And it's very selfish of me to say this, but I would want to be Aquaman. Because I'm a horrible swimmer. Like, I need some skills in the water. So let's just take it on in superhero form. Let's just do that because I'm not a talented swimmer at all.
Well, that makes 2 of us. I can't swim at all. So hey, I'll be right there with you. You got to save my life. So turn to a superhero and save my life. There we go.
Perfect. All
right. So since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
I think I'd have to go with X Ambassadors and the song Hang On. Because there's just so many times in life, it's like, you just got to get through this day. Just get through this moment. Just hang on. It's going to be okay. And I know certainly for me, like in competitive environments, there are times when I feel overwhelmed and stressed. And it's like, hang on, here we go. It's game time. Like, this is what you prepared for. So I need that reminder in my life every once in a while.
All right, so what is something that basketball has taught you that you can use when you're not on the court?
Yeah, so I played high school basketball, but I now work as a consultant and I have a lot of basketball clients. And I've been really fortunate to be around the game at a high level, around coaches that just live and breathe the game. And one of my greatest privileges is just sitting on the sideline and listening and soaking up basketball knowledge from them. But I think if I combine like basketball and just my work experience, it's just this idea that you don't win in basketball without a good team. And I want to have a good team in everything that I do in life. I want to surround myself with the right people. I want to surround myself with people that are high performers. I want to surround myself with people who say, oh man, this is a challenge. Like, we've got to come together and find a way to be successful. So for me, it's that team mentality and that team mindset that you see so clearly in basketball.
All right, so B and I, we're going to produce a movie centered around you. The one thing that we're missing is a lead actress. Who should we get to play you in the story of your life? All
right, I'm going to tell you the person, but there's a caveat. The the kind of personality she needs to bring. I'm going to go with Sandra Bullock, but it needs to be that kind of confidence and swagger that she had in The Blind Side. Like there was a certain personality that she had that I want a little bit more of that in my life. So if she wants to portray me in that way, let's go for it.
I was thinking like Jodie Foster. I think she could pull you off.
Oh, I love that Jodie Foster, KT.
I'll take it. If you can work this deal for us, let's go for it.
Well, here's the thing, though. We can't afford either one of them. So you may have to just play yourself in the story of your life, to be honest with you.
Absolutely not a chance. But we can shoot shots, right? We all about positivity on this show.
Let's aim high.
No doubt. All right. So this is probably the most important question I'm going to ask you during the initiation, okay? When we come to St. Louis to check you out, what is that one food spot that gets your stamp of approval? And what's your go-to meal there?
Okay. I feel like St. Louis doesn't get enough credit for our food scene. And we have some really good pockets. Like you just go to this part of town or go to this part of town. So if you're in St. Louis and I only have like one meal with you, I'm going to tell you we're going to go to Del Mar Loop. So many options on Del Mar Loop. So many options. But I think we're going to go to Corner 17, which is a new Chinese restaurant. I don't leave that place without 2 bags of to-go food. Like it's ridiculous, but you end up ordering like 5 appetizers and 3 entrees for one person. It's ridiculous, but it is so good. My go-to would be the crab rangoon as the appetizer and the pineapple chicken as the entree. But of course, I'm going to order like 3 other appetizers and a couple other entrees as well. But you can't walk out of there. You can't walk out of there without leftovers.
We come to St. Louis. My goodness. Pineapple chicken? That's delicious.
We got some good food here.
Around me. I swear.
I'm about to start asking this question later on the show, B. Jones. I made myself all hungry again. All right, so if you hit that subscribe button or thinking about doing so, please do. Leave us your top 5 music artists, your theme song, and your favorite superhero in the comments. And finally, go to our website, yougotnext.com, to learn more about us and our other You Got Next family members. Now, allow me to turn over to B as we learn more about our newest play cousin, Coach Molly Grisham. So, B. Jones, go ahead and take it over, B.
Coach Molly, thank you so much for joining this show. Because when you sit down and you get on the phone, me and Kevin, we had countless hours of talks of what do we want this show to look like? What do we want it to be? Who do we want to touch and who do we want to impact? And it all make me feel good when we get somebody like yourself on the show, because we can truly help people out there today. And it might be a subtle help. Some people this only may move the needle an inch, but the some this may move the meter a mile. And that's what this is all about, Coach. Now let's take it back to the beginning. Let's take it back to the upcoming, because you're a sports fanatic yourself. You love sports. And so tell us a little bit about your sports journey and what made you keen to living in a community where it's all about team and camaraderie.
Yeah, I love sports. I grew up, soccer was my passion. Started playing soccer when I was 5 years old. Picked up basketball in middle school, played in high school. Admittedly, I played basketball to stay in shape for soccer. I will admit that. But soccer was what I loved. And so went into coaching at the high school level and then the club level and then the college game, and absolutely loved it. But realized at some point on my college journey, the reason I was coaching was because I wanted to develop people. That was it. Soccer was just my excuse to develop people. And so I started to wonder, like, could I do that full time? And could I help other teams with that? And so 6 years ago, I left college coaching and started my own business. And I now work with teams and organizations all over the country on things like leadership development and teamwork and conflict resolution and building your culture, because I knew that everything that we teach in athletics is a transferable life skill. And it shouldn't just stop after college. Like we should figure out, how do we build successful teams in every industry? How can we be high performing in everything that we do? And I felt like I had the roadmap. I knew how to do this in a soccer specific setting. Could I help other people in other places do it now? And so now I get to work with a lot of college teams all over the country. lots of different sports and then other industries as well. But I know your audience is a heavy athletic audience, and so we can stay focused there. But I hope they realize everything that young people are doing in athletics is a transferable life skill. It will set them up for success later in life. No question about it.
Now, Coach, I know we go talk a little bit about some of those pillars that you mentioned, but just for the sake of conversation, let's have a fun, because you're a soccer guru, and I'm learning to love soccer. We all saw what happened with the Women's Cup, with the World Cup, with the women's team. What would you say to that team? And also, can you tell us from a professional standpoint of view what your opinion was on Carly Lloyd's comment about the team? Because you could tell she was upset, but it was upset out of passion. This is a person that's upset and disappointed because her legacy's on the line, and she can see it going away. She was butchered for it. But what would you say to the U.S. women's franchise if you had to go in that locker room now and rebuild this team up?
Yeah. I think it's an interesting situation for us to be in, because I think the U.S. women's national team felt so much pressure in the last 2 World Cups to win, because they knew they were never going to get equality if they didn't win those tournaments. And so they did, and they changed the landscape of women's soccer or women's football globally. A lot of other federations said, oh, we've got to make an investment, and we're cutting some corners and we're doing things wrong. And so they did what they wanted to do. They started to level the playing field. And when you level the playing field, that means other countries are going to be more competitive. And so we now have to regroup as a federation and think about, okay, how do we level up? Because we opened doors for other people to walk through. And now we can't just keep doing what we've been doing. We've got to continue to step forward and lead that charge. And, I don't know how closely you follow what's happened in Spain with their national team, but a whole lot of controversy there. And I think that team felt a lot of pressure. Like, the only way we're going to be heard is if we win it all. And I think that's pretty remarkable. I think it's also a sad state of women's athletics, that the only way you're heard is to win it all. The only way your voice matters is to win it all. And I think a lot of teams around the globe feel that way. So I think we have to like look at the good and the bad there. Like, our federation helped to level the playing field.
It's amazing, isn't it?
A really, really good thing. Now that the playing field's a little bit more level, we got to figure out how we're going to level up, and that's going to be a process. It's going to be a process. Yeah, because I think we had like 14 new players on this team, and then of course we know that it's going to be more because we lose some giants, some icons in the game. But Coach, let's get to brass tacks. Let's talk this thing over. So the first thing I want to talk about is Kevin doesn't listen to me, Coach, and I bring these great ideas to him, and I don't think he appreciates what I bring to the table. No, I'm just playing with you, Coach. I'm just playing. But Coach, tell us about team building and how important is that for you to get like-minded individuals who we both have the same goals, both the same agenda, but things may not click. What is the secret sauce, and why is it important to focus on building teams and working on that within organizations? Yeah, I think one of the things we have to realize is every team, and anytime I use the word team, it's any group of people that have some common goals. So that could be a marketing department. It could be a basketball team. It doesn't matter. It's a group of people that have some common goals. We have to understand everything else that they're walking in the door with. Like, our families directly impact how we communicate with each other and how we talk to each other and how we handle conflict. Our past experiences, our trauma, our education, our socioeconomic status. Like, there's all these things. Like, if you think about an iceberg, it's all that stuff underneath the water that we can't see.
That's right.
And on the surface, we would think like, well, yeah, of course you and I are going to get along. We're going to be fine. And then we start to realize what's under the water, what's different about us, what beliefs, what values, what traditions, what norms, where there might be some conflict or some tension. And when teams fail to acknowledge that and fail to address that, they're not going to be successful. I often say teams don't grow apart, they die apart. And every time I say that, a coach has that exact reaction, because growth is healthy. And so when a coach says to me like, oh, our team, we're just growing apart. We're just in a tough spot. We're just growing apart. I'm like, no. We got to name what's going on here. You're not growing apart, you're dying. And wouldn't your reaction to that be different if that's what we named it? And so when I can get coaches to see like, oh yeah, this isn't just like a season of life where we're growing apart and we're just going to magically come back together. We're actually dying. Then you want someone to be able to come in and help provide some resources to get that life back into a team. But that takes intentionality. It takes intentionality. It does not happen by accident, because there's so much of just who we are as humans that we bring to our sport. And to me, a high performing team and a healthy culture says, bring your whole self to the team. Bring your whole self. Don't check yourself at the door and only bring your athlete. I want your whole person. I want every bit of you. And when we create cultures where people can bring their whole self, teams are unstoppable. Teams are absolutely unstoppable. And I get to come in and provide some tools and resources to help facilitate those moments.
Now, Coach, I should have asked this first, but why did you do this? Why did you make that career change 6 years ago? Why does this mean so much to you, and why is it so important?
Yeah, I would say there were maybe two things that were happening simultaneously. One was I knew everything we were teaching in athletics was a transferable life skill. So there's a bigger audience out there, and that was kind of exciting to me. But the other kind of darker reality is I know the system of college athletics is a broken system that is breaking a lot of coaches. And I saw how desperate coaches were for an ally, for a resource, for someone who could have honest conversations. And I thought I might be able to be one of those people that could walk with coaches, be a lifeline for coaches, because I'm a firm believer that a coach has the opportunity to be the single most significant influence in someone's life. Like, I just tell every coach all the time, you will not know who it is, but someone on your roster sees you as the most reliable, trustworthy, authentic adult in their life. You probably won't know for 10 or 15 years until they tell you that, but for someone on your roster, that's how they feel. And yet we have coaches who are on empty every single day. And if I can come along and fill their cup and help them to be that person of influence, then, I mean, that's a gift that I get to enjoy as well. But I love coaches. I hate the culture and the context that they're trying to survive in right now. It's not a healthy place, but if I can make it a little bit better for them, that feels good to me.
Coach, you hit it right on the head. I mean, I couldn't have said it any better. As a matter of fact, everything we do on this show is intentional. The whole the superhero bit, the question we ask you, is because we feel that every single person that comes on this show is a superhero. So we want to acknowledge that superhero in us, because everybody got this origin story, right? Well, something bad happened, something chaotic created you into the superhuman, because these coaches are carrying a million things along. They got personal issues, and then they not just coaches. We see wins and losses. We watch the game for 2-3 hours, and that team played bad. It's the coach's fault. They didn't sub this person, but it's a lot of dynamics that's going on in the locker room. It's a lot of dynamics going on at practice, in the home front, in the office, during tough one-on-one conversations. So let's talk about light bulb moments. What is a light bulb moment, Coach?
To me, a light bulb moment is that moment that somebody gets something for the first time. Maybe they saw it in a different way, like, oh, I never saw it that way before. Maybe they heard it in a way they'd never heard it before. Maybe they felt it or experienced it, but it is literally like the light went on in the room. Like, oh, I get it. I get it. In fact, I'll tell you, some of the most powerful moments that I've had have been with teams where they just have this light bulb moment, often around tension with a teammate. And so I kind of come in with these tools and processes, and we're getting to know each other on a deeper level. And they start to realize, oh, that's why she's that way. I didn't know that dad was in jail. I didn't know her family grew up living in shelters. Oh, I didn't know she had a sibling that had a life-threatening illness. Oh, I didn't know and it's just like that light bulb goes on of, she's not a horrible teammate. She's not a horrible person. There's just a story there that I didn't know. And then poof, the light goes on. And all of a sudden their behavior makes sense to that person. And so anytime I can just come in and help to like turn the light on, this is what's going on. This is what you don't know. it just makes sense to people that we can acknowledge other people's stories and embrace their stories, but we got to tell those stories before that ever happens.
Is it a secret sauce behind creating those light bulb moments? Is there a step one, step two? We talked about doing the work. I'm trying to get Kevin to do the work to help our relationship. But is there a step one, a step two, a step three? I can't even say it with a straight face. Look. But Coach, is there a step one, a step two, or step three in creating those light bulb moments? Is there an actual activity that I can do in order to create those? Because it seems like that has to be just an authentic, surreal, like you got to be in the moment. It sounds like it's going to be some tears. It's going to be some hard conversations, but it sounds like you got to be there. How can I create those types of moments?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that someone like me can just come in and in an hour or 2 hours, some sort of magic trick happened. And you know how any sort of trick is, it doesn't last long, right? So for me, it's developing these authentic relationships and really getting to know people so that I can ask the hard questions and I can say the hard things and I can name the thing that's in the room that nobody else is willing to say. But I often can't do that on the first trip when I meet with a team. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trips later that they now see me as a trusted voice. They see that I'm in their corner. They see that I have their back. It's in those moments that I can say, can we talk about this thing? But I find that most teams just don't even know how to bring that up. And I think in many ways, my job is to come in and just be a noticer and be an observer. And when I can say to a team, hey, here's something I've noticed. I don't know. Is this good or bad? I don't know. You tell me, but I've noticed this. And they're just like, shoot. Yeah, we got to work on that. But that trust, that authenticity, those relationships, I can't do the work I do without all of that. There's no question about that.
Now, this is going to be a tough moment for a lot of people to listen to this one. But Coach, I come from a community. I'm a 40 plus year old man. Where I come from, we don't do therapy. We don't reach out to people. You fix it. You go in your room, you fix your attitude, you fix yourself. And I only say that I'm asking this question because not just about color, but most of these coaches were hired and put in a position because they were supposed to have all the skills and all the things they need in order to be. They already had to come equipped and pre-prepared. So it may be hard for some coaches who are listening to this to say, hey, I need help. I need help. Yeah. What would you say to that individual? And why should these coaches be going to they Chrome or they whatever search engine they use and going to mollygrisham.com right now, reaching out to you, Coach? You see where I'm going with this? Like some people are really afraid to ask for help, Coach.
Yeah, I think that is the difference between someone who is and isn't a high performer. The high performers know what they do well, which is, hey, I know the X's and O's of my sport and I've got it down, but I don't know how to have this conversation. I don't know how to talk to my player about that. I don't know how to build whatever in our culture. High performers know what they're good at. And so for them, asking for help in the things that they're not good at isn't a step down because they're going to stay in their lane and they're going to do what they do really, really well. And they're going to surround themselves by other high performers. So if you look at any coach that's won at the highest level, they have an incredible strength and conditioning coach. And I don't think any coach is like, well, I mean, I'm really embarrassed about that. I had to hire a strength and conditioning coach. Nope, that was a no-brainer. Any coach that's won at the highest level has a great athletic trainer. They're not walking around saying like, I'm so embarrassed I had to have an athletic trainer. Nope, that's not in your lane. And so a lot of the relationship building and some of those connections and the culture and the strategies and frameworks behind that, that's what I'm really good at. And I wouldn't expect someone who knows the X's and O's of their sport at the level that a high performer does to be able to do it all. So for me, some of the really high level coaches I've worked with, it's not an issue for them to pick up the phone because they know what they're good at. And they understand that they got to surround themselves by a diverse group of people with a diverse group of skill sets who are all really good at what they do. And bringing in someone like me just complements the team of high performers that they're surrounding their players with.
Well, y'all heard her. So now the last question is when they go to mollygrisham.com and they decide that they're ready, they made this commitment, we're going to bring you in. Tell everybody out there what you bring to the table, Coach. I know you mentioned a couple of these pillars and these services that you offered, but just do a quick run through before we get out of here so they can know what is all in store for them when they make that. They have the courage to make that decision to improve their teams.
Yeah, I think any good consultant is going to try to create different levels or different opportunities or different ways to connect. So there's, of course, the option to bring me in to work with your team, but there's only 365 days in the year, right? And I know you got a lot of listeners, so I can only be in so many places at one time. And that doesn't always work with a team's budget or travel or some of those other things. So I definitely have some online resources. I have a brand new program called Coach Ready, where I sat down with a production crew and we recorded a self-guided online course that I believe is the lifeline that coaches need at all levels, college, high school, youth. I share in that process the frameworks that I often share with my elite level coaches that I'm on a retainer with, because I was feeling like just because you don't have a Power 5 women's basketball budget doesn't mean your players don't need this stuff. And could I sit down with a camera crew, record all of that, and make it affordable for every coach at every level to access that information? And so that's like a much lower price point. And then I've got some other things in the middle. I've got a program called Team Ready, which is for college teams, where we hit the 5 biggest pain points in college athletics. That's a hybrid where the student athletes watch the videos and then we do a Zoom together. So lots of different ways that people can work with me. And I think budgets are always an issue for teams. Time is always an issue. Getting approval from their administrators is an issue. And so I just want to say there's lots of options. And if you're interested in what I'm about, just reach out. Let's get a phone call scheduled. Let's talk about those options. Let's see what's good for you. I don't consider myself to be a spammy salesperson. If I'm a good fit for you, great. If not, maybe I can suggest some other people or some other resources that would be good for you. But what I want coaches to know is they do not have to do this alone. They do not have to do it alone. Their work matters. They need a team to support them. And if I can be a part of that team to help them maximize and leverage their influence that is so critical in their athletes' lives, then that's what I want to be a part of.
Coach, you are just super authentic. I know somebody watching. Is this you naturally, Coach? Do you just wake up like this, or do you have to put work into this?
This is me, and I think anybody I've worked with would say that. Like you can't flip this switch of like, this is what you're paying for, and this is who I am in my personal life. I tell coaches all the time, you got to live in alignment. And what I mean by that is who you are on the inside has to match who you are on the outside. And that's really tough for coaches because, as you already mentioned, so much of what society wants is we just want wins. That's all we care about. Well, that's not who we are on the inside. We're educators, we're teachers, we're motivators, we're compassionate, so much to who a coach is on the inside. So that's got to be in alignment. Who you are on the inside and who you are on the outside has to be in alignment. Otherwise, I would be inauthentic in the work that I do. So as much as I'm going to ask coaches to try to do that, I've got to do that as well.
And Coach, wouldn't you say you learn more in losing? Like you learn more about yourself. You learn more about your program. You get better by losing. Like anybody who's won, I guarantee you, they don't know what it's like. They're not even touching where they could go. It takes losing. Bill Belichick, Nick Saban, all of these coaches had to be fired and lose before they learned how to become winners. So, all right, Coach, well, you talked about your phone. Kevin, can we do a call to action? Like, so can she share the information right now? So I know it's mollygrisham.com, but can you tell everybody out there that's rocking with you, because it's somebody that they may want to reach out to you right now, learn a little bit more about your program, your services, Coach Ready. How can they get in contact with you, Coach Grisham?
Yeah, so my website is certainly a hub. You can find all the ways to connect with me on my website, mollygrisham.com. On Twitter, I'm Molly Grisham. On Instagram, I'm molly.grisham. But if you just go to my website, there's a little form there. You can email me from that. All my services are listed there. You can check those out. If you're interested in any of those, fill out the form. That'll come to me and I'll follow up. But I would love to love to connect with any of your listeners and just continue to support them and encourage them in the life-changing work that they do.
All right, Coach. Well, the title of the show, Sports Life Talks, You Got Next. We got to know. We talked a little bit of the why. We talked about the past, but Coach, what's up next for you? What is on deck for Coach Ready, for mollygrisham.com, and your website is off the chain, by the way.
Thank you.
I love just going. I was just a student looking out like, man, that's a dope virtual idea. But Coach, what's up next for you?
Yeah, this is a busy season for me with lots of fall sports coming back. So tomorrow I'm headed off to work with a rugby team, high performing rugby team with really, really quality culture. So it's going to be a great 3 days with them. And then lots more soccer teams and volleyball teams and field hockey teams just hitting all the fall sports. And then before you know it, basketball season is going to be here and we're going to be diving in with those winter sports. But right now, on the road with lots of fall sports.
All right, do you have any shout outs you want to give?
Yes, to all the fall sports coaches right now who are in preseason, which usually starts before the sun comes up and finishes after the sun goes down. I just want to encourage them to enjoy it. Just enjoy it. You're going to get to the games, and before you know it, the season's going to be over, and these players are going to be moving on. But I hope that they can enjoy the journey and find some time for themselves in this process.
All right, so this is the part of the show where you get a chance to call the person that you think should have next. Mm-hmm. Tell them, hey, I got a chance to rock with B. Jones and KT. I told them my story. Want you to do the same thing. With that said, who are you calling out? Who should have next?
I think up next should be Coach Stephanie Wheeler, who is the women's basketball coach at the University of Illinois for wheelchair basketball.
That's dope.
Yeah, I think she is an incredible human being. I've worked with her team for quite a few years, maybe the whole 6 years that I've been running my business. It's a fascinating sport that I had to learn just in working with her, but she brings a really, really interesting perspectives in terms of adaptive sports and just kind of how we need to zoom out and be more inclusive. I think you would love a conversation with Coach Wheeler.
Absolutely. I mean, that would be groundbreaking for this platform. So, Coach Wheeler, you are officially on the clock. We got to get you on this so you can tell us all about wheelchair basketball and just learn about your incredible journey. I'm excitement with anticipatory glow right now. I'm just ready to go on that one. All right, but Coach Molly Grisham, you got next. You are super authentic, Coach. You a trailblazer. You're fearless. Your voice is so soothing. I might have to put on retainer just when I'm having a tough day with this dude over here, Coach. I need you to talk to KT. I need you to fix some stuff right now. No, but Coach Grisham, you the truth. We rocking with you anytime. We got to get you back. Because this 30 minutes didn't feel like it was even close enough to talk about some of the questions I know a lot of people have out there. So we got to get you back on the show, Coach Grisham. But, Coach, you are extraordinary. You are elite. You deserve a yeet. Hey, we had a blast on this one. I hope y'all took a little bit of this. Like I said, I hope we moved the needle. Just even if that thing just went there, I hope you learned something. But at least if you didn't, go to mollygrisham.com. Check her out. But check out what she's doing. It is super impressive. We wouldn't have had on the show if we didn't believe it. I'm just telling y'all right now. We would have said, hey, we appreciate it. We ain't trying to do it. But it's the reason why we brought y'all this, because it means a lot to us. Now, with that being said, don't forget to tap in with us at Sports Life Talk. Hey, y'all know what we do. We dropping social media content every day. We got self-help. We entering into some new levels ourselves. So make sure you get plugged in with us. We got a lot of shows left. And then if you want to be on the show yourself, this is a call of action. Go to SLT, yougotnext.com. Go to the nominate tab. Tell us a little bit about who you are and hit us up, because we want to learn. We want to grow. We want to learn more about what's going on in our communities and play our part and give those individuals a voice. So please come rock with us. And then in live, we go live every Wednesday night, 8:00 Central. Some of y'all may like doing live shows. Some of y'all may not, but it don't matter. We talk sports. We talk pop culture, entertainment. We have a really, 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 really good time. And you get to hear me like roast KT on his bad takes, stuff like that. You just come hang out with us Wednesday nights at 8:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. But KT, good job finding this one. This has been a blessing to me, and I hope it's been a blessing to the Sports Life Talk Nation. You a superhero to us, Coach Grisham. So KT, get us up out of here, man.
Yeah, B. Jones, she definitely has to come back for another episode, because I still don't like you. So yeah, we need some more counseling. But hey,
all right, I see where this is headed. We've got some work to do.
We got some work.
Right.
I don't know if you're ready for that, but hey, thank you so much for rocking with us. Whatever you need from us, please let us know and we got your back.
I love it. Thanks so much, guys. It was a great conversation.
Hey, Coach, and in the famous words of ex-ambassadors, hang on. Everything's going to be okay.
I love it.
Sports Life Talk Nation, we love y'all. Stay safe. Be blessed. Respect each other and love one another because together we are better. And keep dreaming big because you never know. Your story may be the next one featured on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.
What's crazy is I knew you had next because you always working, you always grinding, you're in your bag because you're always working. Like in due time, I knew you got next. Oh, you did it, huh? Crack the code. You got next, you smashing goals. You want next, you need exposure. Well, Sports Life Talk got the baddest show, like the baddest hut in the room. Podcast to tune into just for you to talk your shit. Talk your mushroom. You are what you eat and you should consume. Sports Life Talk from the late night to the afternoon, then rest repeat. Hit the like, leave a comment, or subscribe so you don't miss a beat. You got next is a small taste of a winning meal from a chef type of celebrity. What's up next is you, at least you better be. Yeah, you got next, yeah. I can feel it, you're a winner just like me. You got next, and what comes next? Tune in next time and you'll see. Cause if you got next, yeah, if you got next, if you got next, then you're just like me. If you got next, if you got next, yeah, if you got next, then you know where to be. I'm talking Sports Life, talking this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sports Life, talking this.